All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How y'all doing? Welcome to the party. I am JD the Great. I haven't done a TradingView recap video in a very long time, and I want to be the first one to say I apologize. I know it's been a little minute. I was working on some technical difficulties, and the last time I did the video did not even take my audio. So I'm working out the kinks, so bear with me, all right? So we're going to figure all this out, all right? So let's go ahead and get into this. So I think I want to start off with the Qs. I am a NASDAQ trader. I trade the NQ from a futures perspective. I love it. It's fun. It's entertaining. And I got a couple things that are going to be popping up very, very, very soon, and I'm going to have a whole lot of fun. Don't worry, I'm going to break it all down. If you do not have a community and you need a community, by all means, click the link down below. You will see I have my Twitter, I have my YouTube, I have my Instagram, and also cheatcode.com. A lot of my stuff is powered by Cheat Code. So I want to say I appreciate every one of you for chiming in. I know it's a little late in the evening, but we're going to go ahead and get into some tickers, and we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can figure out what the market wants to do. Now, the market has been pushing up, so let's go ahead and start off with Apple, right? So Apple, if you don't know who they are the ones that makes all the phones, all the Macs and all that good stuff and everything else. So let's go ahead and look at this chart from a higher time frame. So let's look at the 1 week. Right. So if we look at this weekly, right, the weekly let us know that right now we are trying to reverse the trend. Let me go ahead and put a trend line here. This is a solid downtrend right here. And we are making lower lows. And if you've never been to one of my charting classes, I do suggest you go ahead and chime into one of my charting classes. I break this down from the ground up, right? A downtrend is requiring a lower low and a lower high. So if we look here, we do have those. We have a low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and now we got a new lower low. But here's something that I found very interesting. On the weekly, if you do not have the cheat code algo, I do suggest that you get it. By all means, DM me so you can get one. We got a boosty candle. We call it a boosty candle because it's about to set it off, right? Shout out to Neo. But if we look right here, this is a caution candle. What caution means is that there is a possibility that whatever downtrend is occurring here is going to slow down, right? But then we also have what some call fractals, but I call them hindicators, right? These hindicators here let us know that whatever support or resistance is there, there's a possibility that there's going to be a reversal there. So if we look at this, we have ourselves a boosty candle on the weekly. And that usually means that this could be a continuation candle. Now you're like, wait a minute, JD, something don't sound right. And I get it. But let me give you another example of that. Here it is right here. This is June 21st, 2022, when a boosty candle showed itself up. What did I say the boosty candles are? It basically is, hey, there is a slowdown on this downtrend. This is the effect that it has. And then on top of that, we got a fractal here, so it needs to break this level. It didn't break it. It held its position. They tried to take it out with this following week, but guess what ended up happening? It started a whole nother trend. So that is what we're looking at or looking forward to in the next week. So let's go ahead and get into it, right? So we got a nice downtrend here. So what's going to end up happening? So I'm going to assume, right, that this is a potential uptrend. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a trend line right here. Bang. That is letting me know that there is a potential upside here, and if there's any support, it's going to be here. I do need to see a little bit of a change in character. I want to see us break 182 if Apple is going to be bullish, and you heard it here first, right? If we break this 182, we will retest the high, right? We will have lower highs as we're having here. So if we break this, we come to this angle, it's going to have a conversation with the pressure on this downtrend. Now, what it does with that downtrend, it's all up to the sellers that's up there. So if we can actually push it down, continue to this downtrend, we could go ahead and try to make lower lows. So we do need a pullback when it's all said and done. So let's go ahead and go into our next ticker. Next ticker is AMD. Let's look at this one. AMD, same thing. I want to look at it from a weekly standpoint. Let me get rid of all these trend lines. Do we see something? Yes. There is this fractal right here, indicator letting us know that the weekly is showing that it wants to go to the upside. That whatever is happening here, this little wick right here, there is a potential of trend reversal. So before we could actually fall to the downside, we need to take that wick out. Let's see what happens on the daily. We do have a downtrend, but AMD has broken it from here. So we close the week with a reversal of the trend, and it does look like we have a change of character at the same time. So depending on how the market reacts to this, let's go over to the daily. This uptrend that we're facing right now is the continuation, and we have a breakout here with a change of character there. So this lets us know that there's a possibility that we're going to continue to this upside. And looking at the stochastic and the MACD, actually, let me go ahead and get rid of these. I don't want to confuse y'all, right? The MACD is letting us know that we're going to push all the way up to the upside. I hope this all makes sense for you. All right, so now we got a breakout, got a doji consolidation. This is going to serve as a sense of an order block. So the first thing that needs to happen, if we're going to go ahead and have a downtrend on AMD, this got to go. We're going to have to take this out and take care of the value gap that's below it. There is a lot of buying pressure on AMD right now. Let's keep this going. Let's go to Amazon. I'm probably going to do 3 more before I get into some of the commodities. Let's go back over to the weekly. Let's check this one out. Look at Amazon. Amazon has been on this downtrend. Let me go use a ray line to kind of show you what happened over here. That was the downtrend. We broke through. Now we got ourselves an uptrend. The cheat code algo puts the trend lines right here, letting us know that this uptrend is starting to solidify. So let's go ahead and connect these together. And by all means, if you want to interact in the chat, you can. I do have it up. Boom. That is an uptrend. As we're making this bounce can continue. And this is a weekly. We got a golden cross on the weekly on Amazon. This looks like can't stop, won't stop. Look like this is the beginning of the party. Looks like we're going to be continuing to that direction. All right. So let's go and look at it on the daily again. Here we are. We got a nice megaphone type of pattern that's happening here. But we also have a lower low W that's happening here. So I am anticipating that this, and this is going to lead to this. And if we take the measure move, I like to take the short side because I don't want to be too ambitious. The market can do whatever it wants. Here's the short side. Nice explosion from this side. We've already broke through. So there is a possibility we're going to continue to the upside and try to test 146. Now, if we see 146 on Amazon, I'm just telling you this right now, there is a strong possibility we're going to see 150. So let's go ahead and get deeper into the weeds. I would do Google, the AMD kind of like NVIDIA. Let's do Microsoft. Let me get rid of all my lines. That's what I was trading on. All right, weekly. Look at this bad boy. This looks like, I know y'all want to say it. Go ahead, y'all can say it. I'm joking. I'm joking. All right. Looks like a bull flag breakout. We have a nice push up. We got nice trend lines. But basically, we're treating this very similar to a bump and run. And if you don't know what a bump and run is, by all means, go ahead and click the link down below. Come follow me. I will show you how this bump and run runs, right? This trend line is showing a lot of support, and this is the weekly. So we may get ourselves a very interesting Santa rally. I don't think it's going to be long term. I do think at the end of the day, Microsoft is in the sense of a place where it could start a downtrend. I do think this could still be an M pattern. There's a lot to unpack over here. But with the MACD crossing up, it looks like it won't happen anytime soon. So unless they take out this whole entire candle and then fill the gap that's down here with Microsoft, we're going to be pushing up. Let's look at the daily. The daily is telling us that we got a nice little momentum to this upside. The cheat code algo is putting all the trend lines in place so that we can see this and be as objective to the market as possible. There's nothing that says get into a downtrend right now. Can we make higher lows? Absolutely. Could this be a potential downtrend? Maybe. Maybe this is the end of it. Maybe. We'll call this potential downtrend. But it only is potential. Until we get confirmation with a lower low, it's not a downtrend. Right now, we have an uptrend, and it's no longer a potential uptrend. It's an official uptrend. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go ahead and do this like that. And that's what I want to see respected in this uptrend. This right here lets me know that Microsoft still has some more room to the upside. I'm thinking somewhere north of 360, maybe even retest the high of the year at 366. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. We may be bullish. All right, let's pick a last one. Let's go with Shopify. Shopify, let's go over to the weekly. Let me erase this. So we kind of came off of this order block. The cheat code algo is letting us know we had a lot of pressure. We surrounded right here. And if we look historically, this is a very tough area for us to break down. So when Shopify had those solid earnings with the MACD crossing over and it engulfed the previous candle, it's letting us know that there is going to be more upside. Now, I get it. You don't want to see any more upside. That's okay. I get it. But at the end of the day, we only trade the chart that's in front of us. We are traders. We're not investors. We're not fundamental analysis. We're doing technical analysis. So at the end of the day, you're supposed to do your job. If it's saying that it's going up, might as well take the trade up. So now, what do we see? It's coming up to a 200 EMA, so this could be an area of resistance. So I want to see what happens with this value, and I want to see the price stay above 52.79. That lets me know that supporters are still inside of the trade, and this thing could continue to the upside. Let's go to the daily. The daily is showing me this. It is a gap. So does the gap fill now or does the gap fill later? I don't know, now or later. Who knows? But what I can tell you is when you have a MACD pointing up to the upside like this thing can go and retest this order block up here, and that order block goes all the way back to here. That's your bearish order block right here. Bears took over this side. It can reject here. But before we get there, do not be ambitious and talk about Shopify to 95. Let's at least get past 67 or maybe $71. So I'm thinking Shopify will be at $71. All right, so let's go ahead and shift gears. I'm going to go to the other screen. Let's get this out of the way. Boom. All right. Let me get this expanded. Oh, what are you doing? There we go. Let's get that size. All right. So I'm going to go ahead for my futures traders. I'm going to break down some of the commodities. This is not all the commodities. I'm just going to go ahead and give you some of my favorites. Some I've traded, some I've watched, some I use as catalysts. That way I can trade my stocks and options. It just depends on how I want to attack the market. So I'm going to break this down just like I break it down for my trading floor. So that way you can get a little sense of how my thesis works, right? I'm going to do this from the 4 hour, and I am going to start with NQ. If we look at NQ on the 4 hour, we finish with a doji. So I do think that there's going to be some sense of a pullback. Let me zoom in for the kids in the back so that way you can see everything. This lets me know that towards the end of the day, maybe these sellers, I'm sorry, buyers, these buyers, or these buyers turned into sellers. They took their profits, they took their basketball, they went home. They probably didn't want to carry it over the weekend. Who knows? Whatever the reason is, at the end of the day, the market is showing a sense of weakness. Can we have an even star here? That is a possibility. A blow off top. I don't care what you want to call it from a technical analysis part, but I could tell you this 4 hour does not tell me that I want to carry anything over the weekend, which I did cut some of my calls just to kind of protect myself. I think I'm going to reposition myself when the market opens on Monday. Let's look at the daily. The daily lets you see that blow off top a little bit clearer and the reason why. So we got a couple things that's happening here. Let me get my algo to go ahead and switch up. Let me change my settings. Hold on. Let me go ahead and reconstitute that. Ooh. One more again. Hold on. Let me get things in order. There we go. There goes my algo. All right. So we have a very strong bearish order block right here. Let us know that there is some weakness that can happen here. So I want you to understand, whatever happened, the risk to reward is not to the upside. Not right now, at least, right? The stochastic is pointing up. We have a lot of value gaps down here that could go ahead and push us to the upside. We could break this downward trend line, cause a bump and run to go ahead and break through here. But we got to take out this wick, which is around 15,475. That's not going to be an easy task. We are still in high interest rate climate. The Fed did pause. Jobs report looks good, but we need some consistency to see if the market is really going to rally for Santa rally. So be patient here. But what I do like, if we look at the weekly, just like I kind of broke down on my other charts, let me get rid of these drawings. Let me zoom in. We're having that same fractal information, just like Apple. So if this is the fractal, that means we got to take out this wick right here. That means there's a lot of support here. I would like to see what they do with the level of 15,344. If we come in with some steam, we could really take out these levels and probably even retest this trend line up here. But if we don't, one of these areas is going to be an area of rejection. So just keep that in mind. I think 15,400, maybe 15,370, 350, somewhere around that ballpark is going to get real choppy real quick. Let's go ahead and get into the next ones. Let's go to oil. I've been waiting for oil for a long time to just fall. If you look at some of my trade ideas, I actually kind of listed that we were going to form this head and shoulder when we kind of popped up all the way to this top area along here. And if I go to the daily, I think it was, it's probably more prevalent. Nah, I think it might be the 4 hour. There it is. Yep. Right about here. So I kind of knew when we could not attack this high again, that we was going to create this head and shoulder. So the measure move for head and shoulders. If you do not know how it's done, you click here, take the breakout, and look at that bad boy. Bang. So if you actually played oil, to kind of give you a little sense, if you don't trade futures, oil is $10 a tick. This was 699 ticks, so $10. So if you got one contract from that top, you're talking about $6,999. Now, if you want to learn how to be a futures trader, by all means, click the link down below. DM me. I will teach you all about it. Right? So now, with oil making this higher low, a lower high, right? We got ourselves a downtrend that looks like this. I don't think it recovers this. I think we're going to get more lower lows. We're going to, at the very least, maybe retest 78.20. We've done too much. And if you are a Fibonacci trader, this is what you're looking at right now. So we never really held that 618. We didn't try to reverse this downtrend. So right now, it looks like a 618 rejection that's going to go ahead and continue. So if I extend my Fibonacci to negative, let me just change this one. Let's call this negative 2.618. We could come down to 40 if it goes that far. Let me do negative 1.618. It'll be right there. And if we do just the plain old 618, come on, 0 point. You're talking about here. So I'm thinking $71 at the very least is one of our targets. Because it can't hold this. And right now, the 4 hour is giving us a sense of a mother baby. If you don't know what that chart pattern is, by all means, I'm telling you, DM me. We'll get you right. We'll get you right. And then it's showing this fractal like it's going to bounce. But until I see an engulfing candle, I don't take this serious. I will not. I do think oil needs to come down. The economy is terrible and no one can afford the gas anyways. So it's either they bring it down or people just can't drive to work. And then if they can't drive to work, then you got a stagnant economy. Then you're going to have to stimulate the economy again. And I just don't think the Fed wants that. So they need this oil to come down. The stochastic is pointing down here. The stochastic is pointing up there. The stochastic is pointing down here. So which one do you want to take? The weekly, the daily, or the 4 hour? I'm going to go with the 2 hour. The 2 hour is starting to cross up, so that way it can kind of get pushed up. I know that was a little bit of a trick question, right? But I think it's going to reject somewhere around here. So let's draw a trend line like this, letting us know what's happening here. Boom, right? It's going to get smacked before it actually gets back to here. And right now, it's trying to do a change of character there. And I don't think that survives. So I'm looking for this thing to reject, pin the 2 hour, and then the 4 hour will finish play off. Maybe come through the 50% mark of the stochastic, or this weekly starts to get oversold. I think there's some more downside. All right, let's keep on going. Let's keep this going. Let's keep it going. All right, gold. Gold has been doing all types of parabolic stuff. I don't know if I actually did a trade idea on gold, but on my trading floor, actually, no. I think I did it with the community. I did not do it with the trading floor. In the community, when I did my charting class, I really started breaking down how we could have seen this reversal on gold from a daily standpoint and an hour and a 4 hour standpoint. And we were able to kind of pinpoint that this was going to continue. And that was before we even had that impulsive candle here. Now, the problem is with the war that's going on, people are running to commodities so that way they can protect themselves because of investments, right? But if we really look at this, is this really a healthy uptrend? It's starting to look more and more like a megaphone pattern. So what I'm thinking is we're going to do a rising wedge and start to really put some pressure on that buying pressure, right? So I'm thinking if this happens, right? Actually, let me get that. I got that backwards. Hold on. All right. If we get ourselves a healthy pullback, did I do it? Oh my God, I did it backwards again. If we can get ourselves a healthy pullback, there we go, right? To 618, maybe somewhere around the 1900, I can believe that gold is going to still go up. But if we cannot get a healthy pullback, gold's just going to go ahead and make some blow off top, and then it's going to fall way past the 786. Now, if gold drops, and I'm talking about if it like heavily drops, that means the market's going to rally. Is this the catalyst that's going to make us have more of a Sandler rally? I don't know. Maybe. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this party going. Next one is silver. Silver looks very similar to gold. It looks like it's compressing. I did not mean to open that. Let's get that out of the way. I just want to open that. There we go. But you could see the cheat code algo is letting us know that this is a potential channel. So let's go ahead and grab a nice channel from TradingView. Let's put it right here and let's treat this as such. So we're at the top of the channel. What did I say? Gold may fall. silver doesn't look so strong. So if silver starts to fall, gold may fall, and everybody start taking their money out of the commodities, and where they're going to park it? Into stocks and options. So go ahead and keep an eye on this, because what's funny about it is that we are putting in a nice engulfing candle trying to break out of this downward channel. So that means our support for an uptrend kind of looks something like this. Grab a trend line. Got two touches right here with this Boosie candle. This is what it looks like. Yes, we could be going this way, but at the end of the day, these two touches is this angle. I think we're going to fall right to here and then try to explode. So maybe a Santa rally, and this is where I'm a little iffy about the Santa rally. We are heading to a recession, or it feels like it. You know, you be the judge on that, right? So we may get a fall, like we're going to fall, make the market rally, and then when December comes, everybody take their money out of the market. That's what I think. All right? Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Anyways, moving on. British pound. British pound, the way it works is if they go up, we go up. If they go down, we go down. Hence the reason why the dollar is falling right now. That means the British pound is pushing up. So this is a nice, healthy push to the upside for the British pound. We got a nice impulsive candle where it broke structure, took it to the upside. I was talking on my floor about the British pound, and I said it looks like a W. This thing is playing out. So if we're going to go ahead and measure out for the W, you take the shorter side. Here's our neckline. That means the British pound can make it all the way to, oof, we haven't seen these numbers since September. I don't think we're going to get the whole thing. So let's go ahead and put a Fibonacci on this so I can get a nice little 50% mark. I think we stop here. Little trick of the trade. All right. So if you are playing the British pound, especially from a Forex perspective, or maybe you're doing it from the futures end, I do suggest you start getting ready, because this 200 EMA on the daily will be tricky. Let's go to the next one. Natural gas. Natural gas looks like a wedge. It looks very crazy. The reason why I'm saying crazy is because when we had this nice push up, we did another push-up right in here in September, and I thought it was going to go ahead and take some new highs. This thing fell off a cliff, but we would not break this support down here at 322. So what does that mean? This push-up was so quick, so fast, and fell back down so fast that I feel like they just jockeying for position at this point. So I think we got ourselves a nice little symmetrical triangle. It's putting, compressing. You do not want to get into a fight in the middle of the schoolyard. If there is a fist fight with two kids in the middle of the schoolyard, you do not put your face right in the middle of it. So do not try to play inside of this consolidation with natural gas. All right. So if we look at this, it looks like it's really trying to like compress itself. We got a doji. There's making higher lows while making lower highs at the same time. That's not supposed to happen unless there will be an explosion, right? It might be to this side or this side. And I'll teach you the psychology behind that if you click the link down below. All right, let's go ahead and keep this going. Next one, Russells. Small caps tends to move first. When I saw this, I told my whole entire floor, be prepared, we're pushing up. This area has not been broken at all. They tried in September of 2022. They tried in June of 2022. Ever since we broke out from 2020, this has been a very key area on the Russells, trying to figure out if we're going to break this level so we can go ahead and start this bear rally. This is letting me know that bear rally is getting its butt whipped. All the puts are getting liquidated right now. And right now, if we close above the 50 EMA on the daily, I do think we're going to test the 200 and we're going to rally even further. Seems like I almost am saying rally on every ticker. Rally here, rally there. Everything looks like you're getting a rally. I'm like Oprah Winfrey. Rally there, rally there. You get a rally. You get a rally. The Russell get a rally. The British pound get a rally. Let me give you another one that's going to go ahead and get their rally as well. Let's talk about the euro. Let me go ahead and start with the dollar first, but I want to talk about the euro. I think it's 6E. Yep, there we go. 6E. Look at this euro. They are strengthening up the euro. I suggest you do not at all go to Central Pay and try to go ahead and buy some doggone Louis Vuitton right now. The dollar is falling while the euro is rising, so that means you're not going to get as much bang as your buck from the time in mid-October, early October. So now everything's starting to flip on its head. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. So we look at this. It looks like a W breakout. It broke the neckline, and it looks like it's going to go ahead and continue to the upside. I want to see this break above the 200 EMA, because if it does, you're talking about probably getting into that 108.75, 108, maybe 108.16. Somewhere around there is where you're going to get some of that resistance to try to flip this back over. But if we take the measure move of what can be considered a W, now this one was a little tricky than the British pound, right? Because is this the W? Is this the W? Maybe is this the W? Because this is like this and like this, and it just looks very ugly for the most part. But it also can be deemed as a bear flag too. But let's just call this the W, right? Let's go ahead and get our shorter side somewhere around here. Here's our neckline, breakout, pushing up, boom. That takes us past here. So I really want to see 1089, 108.16 to be an area where it gets tested and then fight through. Now, I want to get back to the Dixie, which is the dollar, so that way you can see. This is an M pattern. Like I said, it's inverse relationship. So if this is an M pattern and this is the lower side of that M, could the dollar get to the point where it breaks down to this level and test the 200 EMA? We may get $104. We may get it. I don't think we're going to get 100. We're not going to go this far where we went parabolic in July. But I do think this is a nice little healthy pullback, so that way they can go ahead and get new highs and let the market drop. So this Santa rally is probably in its place properly. So that way we can get a 618 bounce somewhere around 102. So to kind of recap, the market is doing some very interesting things, right? And I do think that the market is trying to figure out what it wants to be. Did we really fall during this whole entire September, October? Well, October was supposed to be a positive month. It was supposed to start the balance of the rally for the Santa rally. And unfortunately, that did not happen. We actually finished bearish. We haven't done that in a long time. So I do think that some people are taking their profits off of puts and shorting the market. So that could be the catalyst that's driving this back to the upside. But if you don't do your due diligence and you don't know how to trade, I do suggest that you go ahead and come over to the cheat code so that way you can plan this properly, because even though this does look like we're going to make the dollar come down and it's going to start a rally, I do believe that it's going to be short-lived. Unless the charts show me something different, I just think we need a little bit of a breather, especially with all this Fed tightening. Now, I want to give y'all a little bit of something. So this week, I am doing a scalping one-on-one class. We're going to take real money. We're going to take real trades. If you want details, DM me. I will let you know, right? This is going to be from 9:15 Eastern in the morning. So this is going to be right before the market opens. We'll probably be on there for a couple hours. But the goal is I want to go ahead and, pretty much gather a lot of money from the market. So I do suggest you sign up, get your tickets, and RSVP as soon as possible. All right. And then after the market, I am going to do a charting ultimate guide. If you like some of the techniques that I just showed you just now, I want you to go ahead and get your tickets for that. If you got to do one or the other, I would say do the charting. Because for scalping, you need to know how to chart. And if you don't know how to scalp, I don't want you to venture off. If you want to come and paper trade with us, by all means, I do suggest you come through. You will learn something. You will get something valuable. And besides, at the end of the day, there's always charting that you can fall back on. So pick one. The descriptions will be released. Just shoot me a DM. Click the link down below. Go to my Instagram. I've already posted quite a few of those links. Follow me, and I will see you later. Thank you very much. Have a great night.